Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 26th of October 2013. So, in today's news, well, there's only really one thing, but I do have plenty of other things to talk about. So, for BlizzCon 2013, they have announced the things, like the main sort of souvenir things you get in the goodie bag, and they are a whole bunch of plushies, but I gotta say they're kinda awesome. There's one for Arthas, one for Diablo, and one for Kerrigan, and holy fuck, I want all of them. Of course, I'm not going to BlizzCon, so I'm probably going to end up getting absolutely ripped off on eBay and spend like 100 quid to get the 3 of them or something, but I don't really care. Oh, I'm sure they'll be worth more in the future anyway. So yeah, the 3 of them, I think they look really cool, especially Arthas. He's one of my favourite WoW characters, so I think they translated it really well. I love the art style that they've applied to these. Diablo's pretty cool as well. Although he kind of, well, based on the kind of camera angle here, looks like just looks like an angry sperm. As for Kerrigan, it's funny, I don't think she really translates that well to being a model or anything like that. There's just something about the way, like, her, she's like all carapace and stuff. I just don't really know if it works as well as like a chibi thing, or not chibi, like a plushie. But whatever, hey, she looks cool in game. So yeah, there's those 3 things. The only way to get them is to be at BlizzCon, which costs like $150, $175, plus flights, plus hotels and stuff. That said, I've actually stayed quite close to BlizzCon before in Hilton, and the amazing thing that I learned about Hiltons is that either like they're expensive for America or something, but in comparison to what we pay over here, they were ultra cheap. And it was awesome. So, yeah, main bitch would be the flights getting over there. But hell, I'm not going to BlizzCon. I'm going to sit on my chair and make videos for you lot all weekend because, I'm mad and, yeah, whatever. So, on to other things. I'm also going to be starting to do a new thing. I enjoy soloing as a hunter, and now that I don't really have enough time, just with university, I have to learn a few programming languages simultaneously, which is great. So yeah, my play schedule is a little bit different than it used to be. I still do try to raid every week at least, but there'll just be 1 or 2 where I can't. So in lieu of that, I'm going to be doing solos of all of the Mists of Pandaria heroics, and I'll just see how much kind of fun soloing I can do, see how far I can push the limit of my own skill, because one of the nice things about doing that sort of soloing is it really does just push the abilities and skill of your own class. So, it's nice. I nearly find it more interesting than raiding in a way, because you're really playing your class fully to the max, I suppose. And I've already recorded 3 or 4 of these, and the tentative formula I have at the minute is to do I'll do the full commentated 20-minute run, whatever, because I suppose some people probably want to see a bit more gameplay live commentated on the channel, because there isn't any of that at the minute, and there did used to be, but that's probably terrible English, but whatever. There used to be, but there isn't any more, so I think I'll bring that back. But then also for the people who are accustomed to the sort of shorter form edited stuff, I'll be doing these like semi-guide like version things after, where I post-commentate over the footage, just to give you a bit of a rundown on a boss-by-boss basis. So yeah, there'll be the long version and the short version, and it should be quite fun. They will start off every week, well, probably this week, maybe tomorrow. And the way they'll work is I'll post a thing every 3 days, so you'll have a Q&A every 3 days, one of these heroic things every 3 days, and then a Old Worlds sort of like lore video every 3 days. Or at least that's the plan. Hopefully we are able to keep that up. So yeah, let's move on to some audience questions and answers. I have a list here from it's actually from last week's Q&As. I've been getting a lot of questions recently. It's been quite great, so I'm just working my way through the backlog. So the first one is, what do you think about new character models? Long overdue or not necessary at all? Keep up the great work. Lots of love, Dan. Oh my. The response to this is, I think they're fantastic and they're absolutely needed. World of Warcraft looks, model-wise, it looks very bad in comparison to a lot of games. Especially when you look at the vanilla models. They look awful. At least, like, one of the reasons that I chose a Draenei for my main character is because the models for the rest of the Alliance, like, characters were all horrifically ugly, and then the Draenei male model I just thought looked really dumb, so that's why my character's a Draenei female, because it's the only one I could tolerate looking at. Dwarves were just horrible messes of polygons. Humans, God, I don't even know what's up with World of Warcraft humans. They're bloody weird looking, I'll tell you that much. Who else? Night Elves are okay, I suppose. My warrior's a Night Elf, but I know I don't go for the kind of wood foresty people, so that was my thing against them. And gnomes are just bloody retarded, because no one likes gnomes, and yeah, they should be punted from all cliffs when possible. So yes, this is very good. As for when it's going to come, it's not all going to be one thing that's rolled out with a new expansion. That's seemingly what Blizzard have said. It'll come out patch by patch, and they'll just keep on adding to it. They said a while ago that they had 20% of the work done. That said, they said that like a lot of people thought that they'd been working flat out and only got 20%. They said that it was more something that was on the back burner and they had got 20% of the way through it, but now they're committing more resources to it, so it should be quite quick. This, in line with the fact that they're constantly expanding their World of Warcraft team, means essentially that these, I'd say within the next year, we'll at least be getting most of them. I'd very much hope so. Anyway, so the next one is, I have a question on rep. How would you feel if rep could go across all toons instead of being separate? I like how achievements work on all toons, and I think it would be nice to level rep with your favourite toon and not have to do it on all the other ones. Well, I think that's actually fair enough. It's a funny balance, really, because it's all about like how much gameplay are they cutting out. I'm generally okay with doing something twice, but anything more is absolutely intolerable. And honestly, for the sort of people who are doing lots and lots and lots and lots of alts, I can totally get this being a thing. So I'm not really sure whether you would have it being account-wide for rep, or whether they would boost this system so that if you hit Exalted on your main, maybe you get like even more, like 300, 500% rep or something with your next character. I'm not sure, honestly, and because I don't alt enough, I'm not really going to... I just don't think I can really talk about it. But here's one thing I will say. It probably doesn't matter going on in the future. They know what happened when it came to 5.0 and 5.1 with there being too much reputation. They know that's a problem, and they're not going to do that again. I guarantee you there is no way they're going to have like 4 or 5 different rep grinds for people to get the optimal gear. There's no way that's going to happen. It'll be more timeless style stuff, and just more of the sort of thing that you don't just grind through slowly each day. Which is great, and should be a little bit more alt-friendly, I suppose. More in that there will be a little bit more variation to the gameplay. It won't just be doing the same quests every day in 10 different characters, because that sounds absolutely not fun whatsoever. So, yeah, I think perhaps it would be a good idea to have rep... Alright, if rep is the sort of thing which gear is tied to it, like it was in 5.0, etc., then yes, it should be account-wide, but if rep is going to stay more of like, it's kind of like Netherwing or Xiaohao, then I'm not really sure what I think, because, oh fuck it, let's just make it account-wide and be done with it. So the next question is, what do you think about this idea? I don't think we need a new race, but a new class, maybe a heroic healing bishop class or something like that, because Death Knight was a heroic tank DPS. For another range melee class, I was thinking ninja. So, this is interesting. How could you differentiate a bishop enough from a priest for it to actually be different? How could you differentiate a ninja from being a rogue? I saw an idea bounced around that instead it would be kind of like you get a class quest or something at max level, which unlocks a hero class. I think that's a little bit more interesting. Just making something an epic version of a current class, I don't think is fun, because mechanically a ninja is a rogue, essentially, because rogues in this game are pretty much assassins. They're not, they're not like Han Solo, I suppose. And a bishop is just a big-ass, important priest. So it's not like they're going to be mechanically much different from a priest. So for things like this, I'm not really sure what I think about these classes in particular, but I do think more classes is always a fun thing from gameplay. The problem is balancing things. There's already a lot of classes in the game, and making them feel different is definitely hard. I think you go for Demon Hunter, and a lot of people say maybe Demon Hunter is too similar to a regular Hunter. Well, a Demon Hunter would be like Illidan from Black Temple. And, World of Warcraft Demon Hunter is a little bit different from, say, the Diablo one. So I think Demon Hunter is probably the most likely class to come. Although that said, it wouldn't be a healing one, and I'm not really too sure what they could do for a heroic healing class that actually feels different from a priest, paladin, shaman, and druid, because you already have 4 very diverse healing specs. I'm not really sure how they'd manage to implement that, but if anyone has ideas, do leave them in the description. So, as always, that's it for the end of the show. If you'd like to leave any questions for future Q&As and stuff like that, then do so in the comments, and with that, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.